are you?
Hello. It's nice to meet you.
And you?
I'm Martyna from Poland.
Yeah.
And so the first question is, do you know anything in Polish?
Do I know anything in Polish? I know dzień dobry, dziękuję, Swojej. I don't know it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
I'm a bit sad about it because it would have been absolutely fantastic to be able to conduct an interview in Polish, but my father didn't like the idea of us not being Danish, so he never spoke Polish to us, which is a shame.
Okay.
And we
No, that-
all kids, all my sisters and myself are in agreement that it's a disgrace they never spoke Polish to us.
So now you have to learn.
My wife is she's a school teacher and she specializes in languages, and she tells me that the hardest language in the world to learn is Polish.
Okay. Well, I tried to learn Norwegian, and it was also quite difficult. So, what do you want fans to remember after watching the series, and why now?
I think now it's not a choice of mine. It's all come at the back of my book coming out about 3 years ago, and that created a lot of interest from production companies and producers to make a film about my life. And if I'm honest, I didn't like much of the ideas that came around, and then Silver Productions with Simon Lazenby. They made a presentation about what they would do, and I kind of liked that idea, and that it was, of course, a little bit about my career, but very much about my life and where I came from, and not just my past life, but also my current life. And it sits much better with me when it's like that, because I also like whenever I have to do things of that sort of character, I like it also to carry some kind of inspiration for other people, and also for other people to understand that deep down we're just normal people, and we end up living normal lives when we come out of football, and how we deal with that. I think that in itself is a good inspiration for hopefully for most people.
Okay. So since you talk about inspiration, if you could give one piece of advice to aspiring goalkeepers, what would you tell them?
The easy one would be save the ball, but I think
The difficult one?
I don't think there is one bit of information that you can give that will make everything good. Goalkeeping is very complex these days. There's so many different skill sets you need to acquire. You still have to have all the basics, being able to catch the ball, to move, dive, all of these things. But now you also have to be a really good footballer. So it's a lot of hard work. And the one bit of advice I would say is to listen to your coaches, do what they're telling you, and believe in them, and then just do it, and never cut corners. It's to get to the top of anything, it's really hard work, and you have to put a lot of hours in to get to there, and you never get there. That's an important thing to understand. You never ever get there. When you are at a certain level, there's always the next level you can get to. So it's
exactly.
Constant development of yourself. So and that's why you need good coaches. You need good people to show you the road to the next step.
Looking back at your career, and because of the documentary, I asked the question. Is there something that you think, oh, I would change that, or there are no regrets? You wouldn't change anything.
I honestly don't like the word regrets in the sense that you're making decisions based on what you know at a certain period in your life. Then you get 25 years down the road and you're more experienced, you know more about life, and you look back and you think, whoa, why did you do that? Of course, leaving Man United was, it just kind of seems pointless, but at the time I really felt that I had to do that. And the reason I won't bring the word regret into it is because I went to Portugal and I had a fantastic time there. I met some incredible people. I have some really, really good friends there. And that carries a lot of value to my life today. But of course, when you dream about playing for a football club like Manchester United, the whole of your life, you get there and then you're up to leave them as well. That seems a little bit odd, 25 years down the line. But it's just the way it panned out, and there's nothing I can do about that now. And as I say, I don't like the word regret, because I kind of feel that regrets are pointless because you can't do anything about it. So can't change it.
In the first episode, you say that you've always had this in your mind, I want to play for Manchester United, but you said that you didn't know why. So right now, after all those years, do you know now why it was always Manchester United?
I kind of always known why. I don't know why it at the time, more how, because it's not like it is today where every game is on TV and, every newspaper carries reports about the games. And at the time, all of my friends were Liverpool or Leeds supporters. That's what they were, Liverpool or Leeds. And for me, I just had, the names George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law. These kind of names were sort of inspirational in a way. And then I really liked the kid, the red shirt, the white shorts, and the black socks. I mean, it just looked, for me, it looked fantastic. And I thought that was how a football kid should be looking. And then, of course, if you think back to the time when I started to support Man United, it's some years after they win the European Cup, but it's also in the same period when they start to really not play well and they get relegated when I'm 10 years old and, they're in the second division. So it wasn't really like something that because they were, fantastic in terms of playing. Of course, they got promoted and there's certain games that we watched back in Denmark that sticks in the mind. The player game against West Bromwich, which had 7 goals for 7 unbelievable goals. It's still one of those games people talk about, but Man United was part of it. And then, of course, there's a couple of FA Cup finals where you see them and you get to know the names. It was just, I just liked, and the word Manchester United, I mean, it still has that kind of beautiful music to it. So, and everything I thought about the football club at the time, and everything I was dreaming about, once I got there and I got to know the people, it was even better than I thought. And I'm a fan. Today I'm not playing, but today I'm a fan, and I love watching them. I love to be in connection with them still. And even though it's not going so well at the moment, I'm still very, very passionate about the football club.
So what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear words like Alex Ferguson said in your documentary that you were the best goalkeeper Manchester United have ever had?
I'm thinking, what a nice fella, what a nice man. I think, I think we were made for each other. Like every other teammate I had at Man United, we were all made for each other, and they were made for him. I mean, he had a very specific idea about what he wanted to do. He had a very specific idea about the people that he wanted in the club. He did his due diligence on players before he signed them. He wanted to know everything about them, where they came from, who the family members were, all of that. So once you become a player of his, he knows about you, and he taps into that. He manages you in the way that you have to be managed in order to do what he wants you to do on the pitch. And it was very individual. It was never the same from player to player. And I could not have asked for a better manager to play for. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic for me. I was made a lot better by having him. I was respected by him. My life as outside of football was respected by him as well. The understanding of, living abroad, bringing a young family, living abroad, that sometimes you need a break, you need to be back with your family in Denmark. All of that, he was just absolutely fantastic. I knocked on his door now and again and said, Gaffer, I need. He said, what do you need? I need a couple of days. Yeah, just go. Never questioned why. Never ever, interrogated me about anything. And it was brilliant. I mean, I existed in the perfect world there with a perfect leader. And, he's the best manager I've ever in my life worked for. And he's the best manager I've ever heard of.
What nice words. So thank you very much for your time, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. It was nice talking to you.